All right, so in this video, we are going to conclude second semester here in Math 2, and it's fairly straightforward, okay? So it's related to what we just studied in the previous video, sine, cosine, and tangent, except this time you're going to use the inverse trig function to get a specific angle by itself. Okay, so you can already see these trig ratios, right? Sine, cosine, and tangent, and I'm going to take the sine and cosine tangent of angle A over here. And what do I need to do right now? I already know that the trig ratio defined as sine is opposite of hypotenuse. If I want to get angle A by itself, right? Remember, this angle A is in the argument. How would I define angle A, get it by itself? I don't divide by the word sine. What I do is I take the sine inverse of both sides. And if I take the sine inverse, the inverse button, okay, is kind of like a -1 exponent notation, but except, and this reads sine inverse, okay? So this reads sine inverse, okay? So when you see that negative, it doesn't mean negative exponents, it just means sine inverse of BC over AB, BC over AC, I should say. And it's the same thing over here. If I say, hey, how do I get angle A by itself algebraically? I don't divide by the word cos or cosine. Angle A is cosine inverse of AB over AC. And one last one right here, right? If I want to get tangent of angle A, if I want to get A by itself, angle A is equal to tan inverse of BC over AB. All right, and that's how you, figure out a specific angle given the trig ratio, okay? And in this one example over here, we're going to use our calculator basically to figure out what angle A, B, and C are. Okay, so it says A and B, C are acute angles. Find the measure of angle A to the nearest tenth of a degree. All right, so if you want to bring out your calculator over here, right? To get angle A by itself, I need to take the tan inverse of 3.29. And this is where I'm going to use my calculator, okay? So the way I'm going to hit to figure out my tan inverse from my calculator is, notice there's a tan inverse button right here, but it's shaded kind of bluish. So I'm going to hit second tan inverse of 3.29. Okay, so your calculator obviously might be different. If you don't know how to use your calculator, I would just look it up on Google. So mine is a TI-30X 2S. So I would just say, hey, your owner's manual for TI-30X 2S, and you should come up with something to help you figure out how to use the tan inverse. Okay, so over here, make sure I'm in degree mode. I have 73 degrees. 73, it's just nearest degree, so I'll just say 73 degrees. Okay, so that's the exact same thing if I want to figure out angle B, right? Angle B is the sine inverse of 0.55. Again, on your calculator, I'm going to hit second sine inverse button, 0.55. And I'm going to get 33.3, so I'll just round to the nearest degree, 33 degrees. And you can do the same thing for cosine as well. Okay, C is the cosine inverse of 0.87. And I'm going to hit second cosine inverse 0.87, which will give me 29.5 degrees. So if I round to the nearest degree, that's about 30 degrees. Okay, and that's how you figure out, these specific angle measurements given the trig ratio here. To get A, B, and C by itself, you take the sine and cosine inverse.